He rode into battle as a hero of France, a warlord, a nobleman, and the right hand of Joan of Arc. But behind the grandeur, behind the glory, lurks one of the most horrifying secrets in medieval history. This is not just a tale of war and power. This is the true story of Gilles de Rais, a man who began as a knight and descended into madness. Gilles de Rais was born in 1405 into one of the richest noble families in Brittany, France. Wealth, land and influence were his birthrights. He received a classic aristocratic education: theology, military tactics, Latin, the arts. Even as a child, he was intelligent, ambitious, and dangerously proud. Tragedy struck early. His parents died when he was only 11. Gilles and his younger brother were placed under the care of their scheming grandfather. The old man wasted no time arranging marriages, manipulating lands, securing power. Gilles was thrust into the world of politics and greed before he could even grow into his armor. As a teenager, Gilles joined the war effort in the 100 Years' War. He quickly gained fame for his military prowess, but his greatest rise came in 1429 when he met Joan of Arc. Together they fought in the siege of Orléans. While Joan was the holy figure, the chosen of God, Gilles was the sword, ruthless, fierce, unstoppable. He was among the first to scale enemy walls, inspiring fear and awe. For his bravery, King Charles VII made him Marshal of France, one of the highest honors a noble could receive. But Joan was captured, tried, and burned at the stake in 1431. Her death shattered the spirits of many, but something inside Gilles changed forever. He withdrew from the battlefield, his heart darkened, his faith once so fervent turned to bitterness. With war behind him and no purpose ahead, he turned inward and downward. He retreated to his estates, and there his descent into depravity began. With his massive fortune, Gilles built extravagant chapels and stages. He funded and wrote a play called The Mystery of the Siege of Orléans, a tribute to Joan, but grotesquely overproduced, costing fortunes. He spent like a madman, furnishings of gold, enchanted items, strange relics. He surrounded himself with mystics, alchemists, and charlatans. But behind the scenes, Gilles was harboring a darker obsession. He had begun reading necromantic texts, seeking forbidden knowledge, and craving something far more sinister. At his castles, Champtocé, Machecoul, and others, children began to vanish. Boys and girls, mostly peasant children, lured with promises of work or food. They would disappear within the stone walls of his domain, never to be seen again. What happened to them is among the most grotesque chapters in criminal history. According to later testimonies, Gilles mutilated, tortured, and murdered them. Some were hanged, others decapitated, some were subjected to unspeakable rituals. He didn't just kill, he indulged in the act, a predator hiding behind nobility. By now, Gilles had squandered his fortune. In desperation, he turned to alchemy and black magic. Believing he could summon demons and restore his wealth, he allegedly made pacts with dark forces, even performing human sacrifices. One alchemist named Prelati claimed they needed the organs of children to summon the demon baron. Gilles agreed. The line between delusion and evil was erased. Rumors swirled for years, but Gilles' status protected him, until 1440, when he kidnapped a cleric during a land dispute. This minor crime led to an investigation, and what the church uncovered shocked the entire realm. Dozens of witnesses, confessions from his closest servants, hidden rooms, torture devices, blood-stained floors. He was arrested and brought before an ecclesiastical court. Unlike many nobles, he didn't deny everything. He confessed in chilling, poetic detail. Over 140 murders were attributed to him. Some historians estimate the true number could be over 600. On October 26, 1440, Gilles de Rais was hanged and burned, a nobleman executed as a murderer of children. But the story doesn't end there. For centuries, whispers have continued. Was Gilles truly guilty, or was he framed by political enemies eager to seize his lands? Some revisionist historians suggest his confessions were forced, that he was a victim of church politics, much like Joan of Arc. But the evidence is overwhelming. In the centuries that followed, Gilles became a symbol of aristocratic horror, a real-life Bluebeard, a nobleman who fed on the innocent. Some scholars believe he partly inspired Bram Stoker's Dracula, alongside Vlad the Impaler and Elizabeth Bathory. He appears in plays, novels and films, often portrayed as the devil in noble flesh. From a Marshal of France to one of history's darkest criminals, his legacy is soaked in blood and terror. Gilles de Rais forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth, that even the greatest heroes can fall, that beneath the armor, the prayers, the banners of kings, lurks the possibility of unimaginable evil. Was he insane, possessed, or simply the product of unchecked power? You decide. If this story shocked you, share and subscribe for more dark histories. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was Gilles de Rais a madman, a victim, or the devil himself?